Hey there, friends and enemies, JoPa here again, and today we got the second developer live stream for Into the Light in Destiny 2, and I'm pretty excited about what we've seen so far. There's a lot more to unpack than I was personally expecting. I wasn't sure how they were going to divvy up all the information over 3 full live streams, but I'm pleasantly surprised that we are getting a ton of info. First off, we got the full reveal of the new activity coming, Onslaught, which was shown off last week, and now this week we got a social space to go over, the Hall of Champions, which looks pretty cool overall, and we also got the full arsenal of weapons, which is a series of greatest hints, whatever you want to call them, and there's a lot of cool stuff in there. Yes, they are reprised weapons, and I know I'm going to see some complaints from people saying reusing assets. I think this is fine in this particular case. 1, the Into the Light update is free. 2, it was thrown together after the delay of the final shape, so I'd rather all of the focus on new weapons be on the final shape weapons. Personally, everything should be hard focus on that expansion. So this was probably easier to toss in the game quickly. We have new perks on these weapons, new origin traits. We have some other interesting things. So I think this is fine overall. And I'm actually looking forward to incorporating all of these weapons into my loadout because they are some of my favorites ever in Destiny 2. Now, let's jump right into it. First off, we are getting 100 more vault spaces once the final shape does hit, which is cool. We have the Hall of Champions. We have a bunch of different chests you can unlock. You'll be visiting Shaxx and our site as your vendors to really focus on the weapons that you really want to obtain, which I think is cool. The armor is inspired by the parade armor from D2 Year 1. It looks solid. Nothing too crazy overall, but I do like it. And I'm pretty excited to try to chase down all of the different armor pieces for that. Although not nearly as excited as I am about the weapons. So one of the things that is pretty cool is we are getting the return of the Super Black Shader. This is from D1. A lot of people have been requesting this. Not my favorite personally, but there are a ton of edgelords in Destiny, so I'm unsurprised this is going to be one that everyone is looking to chase. We're going to get a Super Black Key in order to unlock this over time. Now, talking about the weapons themselves, we have Edge Transit, which was a meme, but now apparently is supposed to be pretty good. They showed it off with Cascade and Frenzy. We have Recluse with Master at Arms, slightly nerfed, which is also coming back. Mountaintop with Micro Missile, which looks really solid overall. I think it's going to be a very good weapon, even though it can no longer one-shot in PvP, which is a good thing in my opinion. But I just like that micro missile type of grenade launcher. I am just way more accurate with it, especially in PvE. If we can get the right rolls on that, I think that could be a must-have in your loadout. We got Fallen Guillotine returning, which can get Eager Edge and Killing or and Chain Reaction, which is pretty interesting. One of my favorite LMGs in the game ever. Hammerhead is also returning with Rampage and Killing Tally in separate columns, so the damage output could be pretty insane on that one. We have other weapons as well. Blast Furnace, Hung Jury, Secession, Midnight Coup, Forbearance, and then Luna's Howl. Now, also we got a change from the Stranger's Rifle to Elsie's Rifle, which I think is a good lore update as well. So lots of things to chase. The thing I'm least excited about, the weapon, is going to be Hung Jury. I think we've seen that a few times now. Not really necessary there, but everything else. Forbearance is a raid weapon. It won't have the raid origin trait, and it will have different perks. So I think that's fine. I do think this is a good wayframe to chase even without that. Edge Transit, they said, is going to be really strong. Hammerhead, I think, will be very good. Luna's Howl is a 140, not a 150, unfortunately. But it does have Magnificent Howl with slightly changed perks there. So I think that could be very good. Although I personally believe Midnight Coup will be the better option there. It's one of my favorite weapons from early D1, and I'm really excited about that. Overall, the weapons that I'm most likely to chase and what I'm most excited about, a Blast Furnace for PvP, a Midnight Coup, Mountaintop, and Recluse for PvE. Recluse might be for both, to be honest. Maybe an Edge Transit and Hammerhead as well. Luna's Howl I'll really look for. And then obviously Elsie's Rifle as well is another good one. Now, you don't need to own the expansions for anything that like the Forbearance or the Succession in order to have those weapons. They are free for everybody who wants to play, and I think that's a good idea. Forbearance, they said, has some extra spicy additions. They also talked about the Indomitable Origin trait, which essentially, if you're on a light subclass, you get more grenade energy, while if you're in a darkness subclass, you get more melee energy, which could synergize really well. I can see that maybe tossing one of those on my Berserker Titan, and it could be absolutely insane. So I'm really looking forward to that, especially like Mountaintop I can throw on with and then you can also have, oh man, imagine a Falling Guillotine with that origin trait on a Berserker Titan with the Banner of War active. Could be pretty wild. Anyway, they go into how on site you're going to get a bunch of chests. You can attune things now. Okay, so this is one of the biggest changes, and I hope it carries over and is the predominant way to farm once the final shape hits, because you're going to be able to specifically focus and have a higher drop rate of the weapon that you're attuned to. So for example, if I really want a Luna's Howl, I can attune to that weapon, and then when I go into Onslaught, the chests will have a higher drop rate of that weapon specifically. So I think that could be really, really cool. They talked about how Blast Furnace has a new perk, and it's tentatively called Last Stand, but it'll be changed in the game. So yeah, overall, I think a lot of very exciting stuff. They go over how the Mana Core nerfs. Oh, one of the most exciting things I almost missed. Mountaintop has essentially a rocket jump in the game now. You can use to propel yourself in the air, which I think is awesome. And yeah, so next week they're going to talk about some exotic mission potentially coming back. Maybe some craftable exotics from those exotic missions. I'm thinking Whisper with the Whisper the Worm quest, so that could be really interesting if that comes back, and there are some other options that might as well. Overall, I'm very, very excited. I think there are a lot of reasons why this is going to be a good update overall. We're also going to get a look at the new PvP maps next week, and yeah, overall I'm very excited. They showed off a vault full of edge transits for the memes as well, and I think that's pretty awesome. Hopefully the weapon is actually good now, but yeah, overall I think this was a very good live stream. I'm excited to see what Into the Light holds. It's not going to be one that is going to bring everybody back who might be a lapsed player, but if you're still playing Destiny 2, if you're still dabbling in the game, if you are getting yourself ready for the final shape, making builds and all that, this is likely to be the last major update of new stuff to check out, to farm for, in order to get for your builds and everything in for that last major expansion. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about Into the Light, what you've seen so far. I'm pretty excited, obviously, but I know not everybody's as on board as I am. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see more Destiny 2 content from me going forward. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, helps me out tremendously. My name is JoPa. Have a good one. I'll catch you all later.